Dianna Russini is the senior NFL insider for The Athletic. She's got a new podcast with Chase Daniel. It's very popular. It's very good. Scoop City is what it's called. And she's also our working mom insider.
Oh, yeah.
One of the very few, I think, are there any other working mom insiders doing the Schefter Woj thing of 20 hours a day? I have to be connected to my phone at all times.
I know. I was checking out my screen time the other day just to look at it, and I was like, this is so bad. This is really bad. This is unhealthy for my brain. This is unhealthy for my lifestyle. I mean, most moms are managing the screen time of their own children, right? Because you just stick that iPad in front of them so you can do something, accomplish anything. I need to manage myself at this point. So no, I don't think anyone's doing it, although I do think moms and dads that are working in the NFL space kind of feel this commitment to having to be on all the time. I mean, just look at the Panthers yesterday. Out of nowhere, we were shocked that the Panthers made this decision to bench Bryce Young. I did not see that coming. I don't think anyone did. Does it make sense when you talk about the Carolina Panthers doing this after 2 games? I mean, yes, but in the moment, if you're just spending your Monday afternoon doing whatever it is that you're doing and you cover the Carolina Panthers and that breaks, your whole life is in shambles. And mine was too yesterday.
Well, I was texting with you recently and you were doing your job and you said to me, hey, I got to get back to you because one of my kids put my wallet in the microwave. So, I mean, what are you doing? Explain that to us.
Because you guys have known me so long, I'm just a walking hurricane, right? So, the way I can keep myself organized is I have a wallet that goes on my cell phone. You know what I mean? So I keep my license and my credit cards on my phone. I never take it off, ever. I always keep my phone in that case. And for whatever reason that day, I decided to take the wallet off of the phone. So I took the case off and put my phone on a charger and went back into the kitchen where my sons were just getting ready for dinner. And my oldest, my 3-year-old Mikey, took the case, put it in the microwave, and it's like toddler height, threw it in there, pressed start, and walked away. I didn't know that he did that. Oddly, right around that time, my little guy likes to blow out candles because he thinks it's everybody's birthday every day. So he had just blown out a candle, just as this is all happening at the same time. My husband comes in the house. He goes, "What's all this smoke?" I go, "Oh, Joey blew out the candle. He, happy birthday to whomever it was that day." And he said, no, there is a lot of smoke, a lot. So he opens up the microwave and the phone case and all my credit cards caught fire. And truthfully, guys, I just think that was my son rebelling. I think he was he associated that wallet with my phone. It was I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over this thing. I'm going to cook it.
That's funny and sad and terrible.
Well, the first question I asked her was, is the phone okay? Not the kids.
Yeah,
is the phone okay?
The other one, the one that's not putting things in the microwave, Joey, is regularly playing with fire and candles.
I never thought about that being a concerning issue, but I'm glad this is why.
Chasing down Bryce Young stories.
It's a group effort. It is a group effort to manage these children while I'm doing this job, because I never considered the fact that it is very bizarre, odd, and unsafe that every day after school, I let my son blow out the candle in our kitchen because he just loves birthdays. He loves his own too, because every time we have to do the fake song just to keep him happy. And we just say, happy birthday to Joey. So technically, Joey's 190 right now, based on how many birthdays we've celebrated. But just the collision course, Dan, of all of it, just the fact that I allow the 1-year-old to blow out the candle, the 3-year-old's cooking my phone. My career's probably cooked now because of it. And I'm sure Child Protective Services will be shut down now.
I'm not even kidding when I ask you what level of panic sweeps over you when you can't have a phone for however many hours, a phone with all of your contacts. I know you could back it up, and I'm sure you've backed it up. Well, no, you didn't tell me you didn't back it up.
What?
So recently I checked that because I had another situation where my phone was in my pocket and I was picking the boys out of the tub and it fell out of the pocket and went right into the water. And we've all been there, right? You've all dropped them in the toilets, in the sinks. Every human being has been there. And you're like, no. And I pull it out and I ran downstairs to find a bag of rice, do the good old rice trick. You all know that now, right? You stick your phone in rice, you let it sit there for a few hours. And I'm just praying and hoping the phone goes on. And my husband goes, what are you freaking out about? We'll get you another phone. You have all your stuff backed up. I'm like, Kev, I don't think I have it backed up. I don't remember the last time I did it. It's like, oh my gosh. Well, the phone turned on, thank goodness. So between that moment and the fire, we did back it up. So I'm good. But I will say the fact that even my own husband's reaction when he pulled the microwave open, right, to go, what is in here? What is this? What is on fire? He's like, Dianna, it's your phone case. Oh my God, your phone. I'm like, no, don't worry. My phone's in the other room. So the parental guidance here is not going well because everyone is very concerned about my phone and not the safety of my children. But I will say Mikey now walks by the microwave every day and goes, smoke, smoke. I'm like, yep, smoke, Mikey.
So you just left the kids in the bath? I mean...
Oh, yeah. We just, they're safe there. Water's safe.
Water and fire, both of them, totally safe. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Have you ever dropped your iPhone in the toilet?
Oh, the worst.
You mentioned Bryce Young and the shock of that, and I saw a lot of people trying to be very supportive yesterday with the idea of his career is not over. But he better be awfully strong given what the Panthers have done to him, like in terms of his grooming in this sport, because I feel like it could be done if he's not really strong.
So I've got a couple issues with the situation there. And we could probably spend the whole show going through this organization in a deep dive in terms of the stuff I know and the stuff that you guys can just casually see as viewers of the game and seeing how they're making these decisions, starting with just the infrastructure, how this organization has been built. It's easy to laugh and say, what a joke. But the reality is it's not run well, starting from the top with David Tepper, who is involved in all of this. And Dave Canales was brought in here to fix the quarterback and to improve it after he went through a lot in his first season with Frank Wright at the helm and a lot of different voices in his ear. So here we are now headed into week 3. They benched their number 1 overall pick. But I just think we need to highlight that we're talking about the number 1 overall pick. 2 years ago, there were discussions happening all across the league. Should the Panthers go for Bryce Young? Should the Houston Texans perhaps go for Bryce Young, knowing that they wanted a quarterback in this draft? So how quickly things have changed. So you're telling me now Bryce Young is broken after everyone in the league said this kid was amazing, that he was great in the meeting rooms, in the classroom, on the field. Now he's too short. His build is too frail. He's not big enough. His footwork is horrendous. What happened? What happened between the draft and right now that it's this bad?
The Panthers happened.
The Panthers did. And it's correct. And look, there's going to be some accountability from Bryce Young here too. There has to be in terms of what did he not do? And you have to put yourself in his shoes, which is why I think he needs to go to the front office and say, I want to trade. Like, I don't know if this is beneficial for the organization, but what you guys have put me through here, it's not right. It's not fair. So now you have to think of this or look through the prism of the team of, all right, well, what are we doing? And I've had people ask me too, well, maybe this is a mental rest. Maybe they're just going to take a break, work on him, improve him. No. That is not, you don't do this. You don't make a move like this to just take a mental break here, siesta, to figure out how he's going to get back, because the mental damage is going to be there. It's there. They obviously haven't been able to find an answer. And so now it's Andy Dalton's team.
Did you enjoy Belichick as much as I did on the Manning cast yesterday? Not just that he had the space to break down football in a way I'm not hearing anywhere on television, because there's not the space for it for someone to be as brilliant as Belichick is in that space. But also because he clearly is mad still that the Falcons made him interview twice and didn't hire him.
I'm so glad that you saw right through that, because I don't think everyone did, because I saw a lot of responses to him talking about that game and Atlanta. And I think Bill is brilliant and he can play a mental chess match with anyone. And I think it was tough for him. All right. I think the temptation was, Peyton put him right there, just set him up beautifully to be like, let it rip, Billy, let it rip. And he did. Yeah. Is there frustration from Bill Belichick's point of view that he had this job? Guys, this thing was moving in the direction I was reporting. Bill Belichick is going to be getting this job after a couple more meetings. He was getting his staff together. And then all of a sudden, it was a Saturday afternoon, I got a call. And this thing just shifted. Straight up hard right turn. And you have to wonder what happened. Well, Bill knows what happened. There were voices in the ear of the owner that prevented him from making that decision, Arthur Blank, from saying Bill Belichick is taking over the team. And the voices won. And Bill was on TV last night talking to him about that, because he knows and he wanted the world to kind of know, yep, that was my job, and they messed it up.
Bob Kraft was one of those voices, according to the reporting of Don Van Natta and others.
Yeah, I think Rich McKay had a big say there. He has a lot of juice in that building. I think there were a lot of people who did not want Bill Belichick to take over their organization, because that meant that they were going to be out of a job. And I don't know. I am not an expert on, did the Falcons make a mistake by not hiring Bill Belichick? I can just tell you what I know in terms of how it was tracking. And so it goes from Bill Belichick to so close to getting this job to now walking around the link with Matt Patricia right behind him, which, by the way, Matt Patricia, onions, walking around the link after you were fired just 7-8 months ago. I think that's wild that he had such courage. I don't even like to go to Philly after a loss, and I have nothing to do with it.
But he's with Belichick.
The general energy, just the energy of it.
Yeah, I just don't want to be around those people. Like, even just this morning, my husband said 2 words to me. He's an Eagles fan. And I'm like, this can't be a thing. Like, I don't want to be the household that is shaped by the result of a football game. Like, A, grow up. B, you're a father. I don't want our children having a culture where mommy and daddy's tone in this house is based on the result of the Philadelphia Eagles. Who cares? So stupid.
Isn't it a case, though, where while we don't want daddy to be moping around because the Eagles lost, we also don't want mommy moping around because she missed the call on some offensive coordinator breaking news?
And the house is on fire.
I bring it up all the time. I say, I don't care about the wins and losses.
Right.
All this house should be focused on is how to give me ability to do my job at a better level. I've asked him to quit. I'm like, I don't care about your job. I don't care about your career goals. I don't care that you work 50 hours a day.
Poor
and
guy.
that you have contributed really. He gives everything to the company. He works for Shake Shack. He does so much for this company. I want him to quit, but he won't do it because something about just like personal growth or something.
Your fights,
whatever it is,
your
he said.
fights
Right.
must be so good.
Oh, she always wins.
But they must be so good. I'm imagining your fights as being sort of cartoonishly funny.
We laugh a lot in this house because if we don't, we're going to get a divorce because there's so much pressure in here just from, and I say in here because I'm in it right now, because it's created by me. He is tremendous at lazy rivering my personality. He learned early, I think probably talking to my dad, like, just let it go. Just don't react to her. She's got to have meltdowns and scream and yell. but it's give and take. And I probably have to do a better job of giving, but I got to break stories.